kurat, siin on diivan, see on nii kahtlane. Küsige. What?
Abandoned buildings have always carried a certain strange tone. Places once full of life, now left to rot in silence. But what happens when the silence inside starts to move? When what's supposed to be empty isn't? Tonight, we delve into 6 of the most disturbing discoveries ever made inside abandoned buildings, all captured by real, courageous people. For our first case, we're diving into the work of a well-known urban explorer named Christopher Brian Hill, better known as Urbex Hill. For the past 10 years, he's been uploading raw footage from some of the creepiest abandoned buildings in the country, often running into unexpected and sometimes life-threatening situations. Urban explorers like Chris face all kinds of dangers, from aggressive dogs to hostile squatters. The risks are unimaginable. In this exploration, Chris returns to the famous Westinghouse Factory, a place he first visited 3 years ago in June of 2022, with his return taking place in February of 2025. Many of you might remember that video, as it took the internet by storm, capturing one of the most chilling encounters ever recorded by an urban explorer.
Yo, you need some help, bro? Yo. Fuck that. He's not even responding. I'm gonna leave him alone. Get the fuck out of his way.
After finishing up in another section of the building, Chris's visit takes a dark turn. At the end of a long corridor, he spots a man sitting completely still in a fetal position. Chris calls out, asking if he needs any help. But the man doesn't move a muscle. Unnerved, Chris decides to leave him be. Shaken by the encounter, Chris's breathing grows heavier as he continues exploring. But only about 4 minutes later, he decides to go back, hoping to help the man by offering him a $20 bill. To his shock, when he returns to the same spot, the man is gone, completely vanished.
You know what? I'm gonna help that dude out. I'm gonna leave him some money. Let's see what I got. I'm gonna get this dude a $20 bill. That's up, sleeping down here like that. Yo. Yo. Hey, I got some money for you. Shit, he's not there. And he's not responding. Damn it.
You can clearly hear the worry in Chris's voice as he realizes the squatter is gone. And as many of you know, squatters often know these places better than anyone, making it easy for them to hide in the shadows and strike when you least expect it. But what's even more chilling is how many times the man from earlier appears throughout the video, often when Chris doesn't even notice. In one scene, as Chris walks into another room, if you look closely at the far left of the frame, there's a door, one Chris didn't check. And right there, you can see the man standing in the doorway, silently watching as Chris ventures deeper into the abandoned factory. Alarmingly, we don't know how long the man had been following Chris. Luckily, nothing happened, and a little while later, the man can be seen walking just outside the building. Having had enough of the disturbing encounters, Chris decides to leave the factory for good. Or, at least, that's what he thought. February 2025. 2 years after the last exploration, Chris has returned, determined to uncover the hidden truths about this place. Once again, the Westinghouse Factory didn't disappoint Chris. Only about 3 minutes into the exploration, a faint and distant hey can be heard. Chris can't tell where it's coming from, so he keeps moving. Not long after, Chris mentions hearing someone talking somewhere inside the building, though the camera's microphone doesn't pick it up clearly. But just a little further in, something happens that confirms his theory. He's not alone. Just like his last visit, someone seems to be roaming the building, maybe even the same person.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Something that could sound like a glass container can be heard falling and shattering on the floor. The combination of breaking glass and distant voices leaves Chris with a chilling realization. Someone might be watching him again, and it might be time to leave. Before Chris can make his way out, he has to move through long hallways and vast empty rooms, each one filled with strange echoes and the unsettling feeling of being watched. It isn't until later, while editing the footage at home, that Chris notices something truly bone-chilling, something that would likely stop him from ever returning to the Westinghouse Factory again. Though hard to spot, far down the hallway, a tall, dark figure can be seen moving from one side of the room to the other. Fortunately, Chris made it out unharmed. He never discovered who or what was in there with him. And maybe it was a good thing he didn't. This next video was recorded by a YouTube channel called E.T. Explores and More, and was filmed in a small town called Tartu, Estonia, back in August 2016. In the video, a group of teenagers explore an abandoned building that was constructed over a century ago, back in 1915, when Estonia was still part of the Russian Empire. Upon entering, the uploader and his 3 friends find exactly what you'd expect from a building that is old, long abandoned by people, but not by life. Mold crawls up every corner. The radiators are covered in thick rust, and holes stretch across the floors, ceilings, and walls. But it doesn't take long before the group senses that something about this place isn't quite right. Scattered throughout the building are eerie messages left for anyone brave enough to enter, and 2 of them, in particular, are enough to send the boys into panic.
Näed, sinu selja taga. Näed, mis sinu selja taga toimub? Oo, jälle.
Other than the disturbing messages and strange stick figure drawings on the walls, nothing seems to suggest that anyone could be living there, or that anyone had visited the place in a long time. However, that completely changes when one of the teens finds a door covered by a blanket, and the group decides to explore the forbidden room, but they don't get far.
käisime küll ju, sa ei käinud või?
käi. Läbi selle lina või jälle.
no kuule, siin on diivan, see on nii kahtlane. küsi, kas
As one of the boys shines his flashlight inside, a loud scream erupts from within. Terrified, the teenagers bolt out of the building in a panic. By the time they reach the outside, the sun has already set. They rush to their car and flee from the not-so-abandoned building, although the group was too busy running to catch a glimpse of whoever was inside. They're convinced it was a homeless man, someone who definitely wasn't expecting visitors. Still, it must have been an absolutely terrifying experience for them. Since then, not a single video has been uploaded from that location by any of the four friends. In April of 2025, YouTuber 2Swag, a relatively new face in the urbex world, who built his name on exploring the decayed, uploaded a video where he and his friend found something that shouldn't have still been alive: a decommissioned Air Force college campus, abandoned for decades, yet humming with electricity. It starts like any other exploration. They slip through the first building quietly. Rows of empty dorms, walls yellowed with age, and lights that shouldn't still work.
Oh shoot, the light is on in there. Yeah, this place has power, which is really weird. Oh my gosh. That is really creepy lighting. Oh, what? Is that not another door? That's like a whole bunch of doors stacked on each other. It's weird. This room is weird. Dude, that is a very long, dark hallway. Oh, there's some dorm rooms. Some weird white stuff on the floor. And there's cobwebs like right here. You could tell that no one's been here for a while.
Dust and cobwebs hang heavy in the corners.
What the heck? Dude, this is the weirdest piano I've ever seen. It's like a double... Yeah, it's like a double-decker one.
Is it a piano or an organ?
I have no clue. Huh, you like push it up? Yeah, so this place was a military base, as you could see by all the stuff. And all the dorms where the military personnel would stay were left abandoned, while the rest of the base was turned to a college, so...
There's no vandalism, no broken glass, just untouched decay.
A lot of people in my videos always comment about, oh, there's no dust, it's not abandoned. But I think you guys have to realize that dust comes from, like, activity. Dust is literally, like, particles of dead skin and all this stuff. So if there's no dust, it usually means that it's really untouched.
They piece the story together as they move. Once a functioning military base, later turned into a college, then left to rot.
Interesting.
This was like the former base. I mean, it used to be like an Air Force college pretty much, but then later on they did a lot of add-ons and these buildings just got neglected, and over time they just went abandoned. They've just been sitting here ever since, bro. For like probably close to 2 decades, honestly.
That's how a lot of places are. Like, you just feel it in the air. Oh.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you could smell the mold. Oh yeah. Ceiling's starting to cave in and everything. You see black mold all on the ceiling. I'm guessing whenever it rains, it just flows through here and makes everything absolutely gross.
As they move toward the next building, headlights sweep across the field. A truck rolling by, too close to be coincidence.
He's got it. Oh my god.
So that truck just like pulled up. I don't know what he was doing. I don't think he saw us. But this is a very like active campus, so we gotta be really careful. We're just waiting out. There's some people walking. Oh, what the hell? Oh, just lay. Oh.
After laying still on the ground for 15 minutes, someone spots them.
He sees us. I don't know what he's doing. He's looking at us. We should get out of here. Maybe we can come back later today. He's calling somebody. Let's leave.
In the middle of the night, the duo decides to return to the former military base. And the deeper they go, the stranger it gets. Spilled stuff on the cafeteria floor. A pile of dead bugs and children's toys scattered through the rooms, as if waiting for someone who never came back. Beds are perfectly made, rooms decorated in themes, everything eerily preserved to the minor details. It doesn't feel abandoned, it feels arranged. Then, a door opens to something out of a nightmare.
I have no clue. I guess that means it's locked. What the fuck is this room? What the hell? Okay, let me turn on the light. What the fuck? There's like snakes all over the walls. Dude. There's more in here. Okay, this is an insane amount of stuff to look through. I have no clue what this is. There's the Thing. That's from that one movie, The Thing. There's a whole alien dude right here. What in the world? This is weird. This is really, really weird. I'm really afraid to have this light on, because that is a window right there, believe it or not. Okay, I guess let's check out that bathroom. I'm gonna grab my flashlight and turn this light off, though. It's like saran wrap over the toilet. There's a Christmas tree in this bathtub right here. It's like a whole-on casino. What the heck does this spin? This place is really weird. Alright, we're just gonna keep going down, and I'll let you know when we find a room that we could get into.
Each room looks more deliberate than the last. It seems like a pattern starts to form, but none of them can tell what it's for. But then they find a room that changes the tone entirely.
Oh, this was open. What the fuck is that?
What? What the? Dude, is that real? Is that a fucking pig?
Dude, what the fuck?
That is actually, wait,
That's
that is
real.
disgusting. That is real and that is disgusting. There's more right here. Bro. What the fuck? It turns on. The light in here turns on. Yeah, we're definitely getting demonetized with this one, folks. This doesn't make any sense. Why is this in a dorm room, bro? What?
This is in a school. What the fuck
This is a, yeah, this is a freaking school, bro. There should not be terrible torture what? I've never seen anything like this in my life. I'm so serious.
What the fuck is that even?
That's like another dead thing. I don't know what even that is.
Stretched out like a torture chamber. Dude, he's got like electric shit connected to like a mask.
That's
actually
terrible.
fucking disturbing.
Oh! There's a live pig in this bag. Or I guess a dead pig. Once was
It's not
live.
alive anymore.
Yeah, this is really not good for YouTube.
Oh my god. There's a fucking Afro rat here.
Oh! There's more dead stuff over here. There's a dead, whatever that's called. A dead thingy. I don't even know what that is. Look, there's like brains and...
There's a pig
Oh!
head. A severed pig head.
Oh! Why is that? Dude, this is like... Even if someone was putting this here to like play a joke, that's so fucked up. There's like actual dead animals in here. Look at that. That's an entire baby pig. I definitely do not want to be in this room for any longer. There's even more like things right here. Okay, well, I guess we know what kind of place this is now. I mean, I kind of knew that some sort of weird stuff was going to be in here. That's why I was filming, but I had no clue that it was going to be like this. I'm so for real. This is actually kind of fucked up.
Well, the footage speaks for itself. This isn't just an art project. It's something else. Something that makes the duo whisper instead of speak. But the weirdness continues.
Dude, there's straight like petri dishes and stuff. What is this? This is like a setup. This is a trap.
They keep moving until another discovery stops them cold.
Dude, wait.
This is making bombs, bro.
Dude, this is a what the?
This is fucking look. That's supposed to be a fucking bomb.
Are you serious? Wait, no.
No, I'm dead. What the fuck?
I have no clue what this means. This definitely could be like bomb making stuff, but I'm not sure. Oh,
It's literally telling you how to make
OGS bomb
dry
school.
chemical carrying
What?
mineral.
Dude, did we just stumble across like a terrorist? This is definitely. What is this place? Why is there like. Dude, you could actually come in here and start making bombs, I bet. Dude, isn't that like.
School.
Isn't. I know you have to use like something with a lawn to make a bomb.
Oh, that's fertilizer.
Oh, is that.
shit has like the sulfur or whatever that to make.
Is that what
That's
people
actually
use?
fucking crazy. Oh my god, dude. Do it yourself, guy. What the fuck? Dude, that's a bomb.
Building weapons and explosives. Trapping anything that moves. Dropping out of the dropping out of the rat race. Pretty sure this is like actual crime scene photos of rooms where bombs were being made in. Yeah, these are definitely all. Like, this looks very bomby. This is definitely a bomb factory.
Tables covered in fertilizer, pipes, and diagrams, detailed handwritten guides explaining how to build explosives. Every word looks real. Every material is there. Whether it's genuine or not doesn't matter. Someone made it convincing enough to scare them into silence. And then comes another surprise.
What the fuck is that?
Dude.
What the hell is happening? What?
Dude, the eyes move.
Yeah, it's gross.
The eyes move.
This is
So
definitely
sad,
some sort of
huh?
like Nuketown setup, I think.
In another room, an officer's desk. Radios, mock reports. FBI's most wanted posters. And even what appears to be real crime scene photos.
Oh, dude, that is. I don't know if I can show that. That's like an actual body.
Some of them are too graphic to show, too real to fake. They look away, but the camera keeps rolling. If this is performance art, it's meant for no one sane. Finally, the basement.
It's disgusting. There's babies. Dude, why do they got babies in here? They just got piles of babies.
What the fuck?
Nah.
Is
Nah.
that blood?
Dude, look. There's an outline of a person on this stretcher. Like there's a decomposition.
What the-
There's a decomposition stain right here. That is
No, dude,
gross.
there's like dead blood here.
Do you think that's actual blood? That looks pretty fresh, I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, no mannequin's gonna leave an outline. That's like a human,
That
like
is.
sweat, bro.
That is-
That's like decomposition.
You can't fake that.
Dude, it smells like rubber in here.
It smells like, yeah,
Really fucking-
it smells like straight terrible plastic.
The smell hits first. Rubber, decay, burnt plastic. Rows of mannequins stacked shoulder to shoulder. Dolls, infant figures. They duo eventually left as a security patrol car pulled up. Whatever this campus once was, school, base, set, it's not abandoned, it's maintained, staged, watched. Somewhere in those halls, someone is still curating a real-life nightmare. For this next case, we will revert to Urbex Hill, because in the middle of all of his other urban explorations through decayed factories, hospitals, and prisons, we simply cannot ignore the time when he explored the Rockefeller Building in Cleveland, Ohio, but ran into a group of vigilant squatters. It begins in the heart of downtown Cleveland, where the Rockefeller has loomed since 1905. Built by John D. Rockefeller himself, the 17-story tower was once a crown jewel of the city, a hub for law offices, financial firms, and oil magnates. But by the 1970s, its shine had dimmed. Tenants left, the halls emptied. When the pandemic hit in 2020, the last few offices closed for good. By 2022, the doors were locked, and the building fell silent. Or so people thought. Dating 4 months back in time to June 2025, Chris went out on this eerie adventure. What Chris captures inside shows that the silence didn't last long.
The table's still wet. Somebody must have been here recently. Someone must have just recently pissed on the ground right here. That's gross.
Tables still wet, papers stacked neatly, lights flickering in rooms that should have been dark for years. It's clear this place isn't just decaying, it's being used. Down the narrow hallways, marble walls still glint in his light, reflecting fragments of the building's former elegance.
I mean, almost every wall in the hallways are made of marble. I mean, that had to be so expensive at one point.
But beauty quickly gives way to danger. Bullet holes trace the walls, shell casings litter the floors. The air smells faintly of gunpowder and cigarettes.
Wow, those are all bullet holes. The coronavirus. I think when this place shut down was during the pandemic. Are people really in here shooting? It's a 9mm. That's crazy.
People are shooting here, inside this once grand office tower. Each floor tells a different story.
Look, another one in this bathroom. More right there, right there. That's crazy. Somebody's definitely sleeping in here. You can smell it. It smells like people have been sleeping in here. That's super sketchy. Somebody's recently slept in that bed. Like literally just recently. Cigarettes. Yeah. Yeah, even the chairs are like organized. Like people have been here rather recently. And it smells like cigarettes.
In one room, a mattress still warm, clothes folded neatly. In another, cigarette smoke still hangs in the air. Higher up, bottles, pills, and syringes cover the desks. And the fridge is completely full.
Somebody's been up here recently. Smells like cigarettes in here. Somebody's pills. They ripped the label off. Somebody was like using needles up here too, it looks like. Oh, that's horrible. Alright, let's close that.
The Rockefeller hasn't just been abandoned, it's been claimed.
It's like a hallway full of vaults. What is this place? Wow, look at this one. It's like a prison cell.
He keeps going, passing vault-like rooms with barred windows and newspaper-stuffed vents. Strange noises echo through the stairwells. Footsteps, the slam of a door, something shifting out of view.
Somebody's here. Listen to that. This place place is so big, anybody can be here.
When he pauses, the silence feels alive. Faint clatters can be heard from above. He listens, nothing. But he knows he's not alone. By the 9th floor, unease turns to fear.
At this point in the video, I need to explain a few things. I started hearing a lot of noise coming from the stairwell nearby on the 9th floor, multiple voices and what sounded like music playing from a cell phone. So I quickly pressed record on my camera and turned my light off just in case they were hostile. Unfortunately, the camera audio was cutting in and out during the entire exploration, and it failed to capture the sound during this part. While sitting quietly in the dark, I listened, and they sounded like they might be fellow urban explorers. So I turned my light on and went to the stairwell to see who they were. When I got to the door, I unintentionally scared a woman that was with the group, and she screamed and ran up the stairs yelling, "Help!" That's when one of the guys racked his gun and shouted, "Who's down there?" I replied that I was just taking pictures of the building. It quickly became clear they weren't explorers, they were scrappers, and they were also using drugs while stripping the place. They began yelling and threatening to shoot me if I didn't leave. I started arguing back at them, saying I have a gun too, and that they needed to relax. After a bit of tense back and forth, I told them I'm leaving soon and I won't bother them. As I walked away, I could hear what sounded like at least 4 people yelling and cussing about me being there. One of them was even talking about me. This whole interaction made me pretty nervous, especially considering the number of bullet holes and shell casings I had already found scattered throughout the building. It was clear that these scrappers come here often, and were mad that I was in there, and it wouldn't surprise me if they fire off rounds to scare off explorers or anyone else who enters the building.
He backs away slowly, moving toward another stairwell. Their shouts echo behind him, angry, unsteady, bouncing off the marble walls. He's seen the bullet holes. He knows what they're capable of.
This place looks crazy. Completely flooded. All of that's flooded. That's crazy. Look, you can see where the lights are. That's how flooded this place is.
On the lower levels, the air turns damp and metallic. Floodwater creeps up from the basement, lights flickering beneath the surface like ghostly reflections. Somewhere below, machinery hums faintly, proof that parts of the building still have power. Suddenly, noise can be heard from upstairs. The armed scrapper gang began looking for him. A bullet was fired, potentially as a warning to Chris. Fearing for his own life, Chris tries his best to keep the camera steady as he desperately makes his way toward the exit. The Rockefeller building stands like a corpse of steel and marble, beautiful and broken. For most, it's just another piece of Cleveland's history, forgotten, boarded up, left to rot. But for those who've been inside, it's something else entirely. Chris knows that better than anyone. On October 10th, 2025, YouTuber Jerbear uploaded a video exploring a massive abandoned building, one that stood like a giant time capsule. What was supposed to be just another exploration quickly turned into a disturbing experience. one that would likely stay with Gerbear for the rest of his life.
So I do got to remember to keep my voice down throughout this one, because it's possible that there's somebody else in here with me. This place is massive. Man, I'm nervous.
The video starts out rather peaceful. Gerbear sounds nervous as he talks about how massive the place is, and the possibility of running into squatters or any other signs of life inside. Only about 3 minutes into the exploration, Bear stumbles upon his first creepy discovery. Something hanging from one of the doors. It's a baby doll hanging from her foot, almost like a warning. But what's even more alarming is that, despite this, Bear still decides to open the door and step inside. Things quickly take an even darker turn. Just as Bear steps into the room, a loud bang echoes through the empty building.
My hair's standing straight up. What in the world? I really think somebody might be here.
Unsettled by the disturbing noise and the thought that someone else might be inside, Bear pushes forward, determined to uncover whatever secrets the building still holds. Bear continues exploring the second floor, walking all the way to the far end and back. But later, while editing the footage, he notices something chilling, something he wishes he'd seen much sooner.
That's creepy. Creepy.
The door he had entered through was now completely shut. Something Bear hadn't done himself. It was a clear sign he wasn't alone in the building. Even more alarming, he didn't notice it while filming, meaning that at the time, he had no idea someone else was in there with him. As he heads upstairs, Bear mentions that he keeps hearing footsteps, both above and below him. Unfortunately, the camera's microphone doesn't pick up the sounds, but the unease is clear in his voice. It's an eerie feeling that only the viewer can confirm was real. About 10 minutes go by without anything unusual, so Bear shrugs it off and keeps exploring. But as he reaches the piano room, looking over a row of old antique pianos, a sound suddenly echoes through the building once again, this time much closer.
Hey kids, you used to have to get up and turn the knob to change the channel. Shh. I told you there's somebody here. No. No.
The footsteps grow faster, closer, echoing through the empty building. Bear quickly turns off his camera light and hides behind an old, dusty piano, hoping whoever's out there doesn't find him.
Oh, they're coming up here. They're coming up here. No.
a man holding a metal pipe can briefly be seen entering the room, scanning the area before heading in the opposite direction from where Bear is hiding. Seizing the opportunity, Bear quietly slips out of the room and into the stairwell, but just as he thinks he's gotten away, the man with the pipe suddenly spots him and gives chase. Disturbingly, the video cuts off before Bear makes it out of the building. One possible explanation is that it was difficult to run while holding the camera, so he may have turned it off, or perhaps he didn't capture anything he felt was worth leaving in the video. But whatever the reason was, it was probably the right call. The fact that the video was eventually uploaded to YouTube suggests that Bear made it out safely, escaping the man with a metal pipe by only a few inches. For our last case, we'll be taking a look at Jake from the YouTube channel Uninhabited. Jake has been uploading since early 2017, sharing his passion for exploring forgotten places across the United States. However, in one particular video uploaded on March 10th, 2025, Jake set out to explore an abandoned juvenile detention center, one rumored to have been taken over by homeless people. Although Jake took every precaution before entering the building, no one could have predicted what was about to happen to him and his two friends during this exploration. As they stepped inside, Jake called out politely, "If anybody's in here, say something and we won't come inside," just in case any squatters were there and didn't want to be disturbed.
If anybody's in here, just say something, we won't come in. This is the cafeteria.
But no answer came back, so Jake and his friends decided to head deeper into the abandoned juvenile detention center. It wouldn't be long before they reached a room that, during Jake's last visit, had looked completely different. This time, it was clear. Someone had been living there. The smell was so overpowering that neither Jake nor his friends dared to step inside. Instead, they moved on to another section of the detention center, an area where the juveniles had once lived during their stay. But now, someone else had taken over. And just like some of the former residents, these new occupants weren't friendly either. Through the window, you can clearly see everything someone would need to survive: fresh food, drinks, and even a toaster for making sandwiches. On the floor lies a mattress, but no one is visible inside. So, the group decides to head to the front, looking for an open entrance.
Why is there so many belts? I've seen like 4 belts.
What?
Suddenly, something startles the two girls, and they take off running at full speed. Jake follows right behind them, not knowing why, until he turns around and sees someone screaming at them like crazy.
Oh, hey, we're filming a YouTube video. We didn't mean to disturb you.
Being the good guy he is, Jake tries to explain that they mean no harm, that they were only exploring the area for a video.
We're filming a YouTube video. We didn't mean to disturb you. We're just exploring a building for a YouTube video.
You're not supposed to be over there on this road. You know that, right?
Yeah, I do.
All right, have a good day.
All right, you too.
Although the encounter initially seemed harmless, Jake had no idea that when he turned around again, the woman would be sprinting straight toward him, trying to catch him.
Yeah. All right, sorry, we're leaving. She's following. Hey, guys, get in the car.
There she is. Where? Right there.
Look, she's taking a picture of your license plate.
What? She's homeless. Damn.
Fortunately, the group managed to escape the area unharmed. It's unclear why the woman wanted the group off the property, but Jake suggests she was likely one of the homeless people living inside the abandoned building. That would explain why she didn't want anyone snooping around. After all, it was practically her home. And that would be all for today, folks. If there's one thing you should have learned by the end of this video, it's that you never really know what's hiding behind those boarded up doors. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the cards on screen for your next nightmare. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.